years old, I realized there was a road at the end. I would win lots of pots of gold. Never took a break, never made a mistake. Took time to create, cause there's money to make. To be a billionaire takes hard work for years. Some nights I shed a tears while I set a prayers. Been through hard times, even worked part-time in a key food store. Sweeping floors for times.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is your host, Vincent E. Scott, with the Freedom Truth Radio Show. Welcome. Good evening. It's good to have you here tonight. With us is Mr. Skip Bailey from the one and only Skip Bailey Productions. He's here because he has a new book, and he just released. It's called Skip Bailey, From the Fields to the Stage. And happy to have him here again as my guest on the Freedom Truth Radio Show. Welcome back, Skip.
Thank you.
It's good to have you, man. You got a brand new book out. And I mean, this is an official cover, y'all. This thing, this like, you know, this is like Barnes and Noble worthy. This is not like a notebook paperback. This is like the official thing. It's got ISBN numbers and stuff on there like that. This is official book. So I'm happy for him. Very happy for his book, From the Fields to the Stage. Pretty much talking about his life story and how he advanced himself from coming from a very humble background to where he is now, and gotten to the point where he is a life coach. Got an echo there. All right. So, Skip, talk to me about this book, man. This is good stuff. Glad to see that this is actually your second book.
Actually, my third book.
Third, okay.
This is actually third.
Third book, okay.
Yeah. Actually, the book, we just got the first copy September 26th, so it's just a little over a month old.
Okay.
Since we've had the book. Excited about the book because actually this book didn't take as long from start to finish at all. Because I guess, from, the previous books, that was practice. The previous books were practice.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, this one we went right through it. But like I said, this one here went straight. It's a lot of pretty much my autobiography, my memoir, my life story pretty much.
Okay.
Actually, I was just told a couple of days ago they feel that there's another book coming. I was like, really?
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 From some people that already read this one.
I've already read this one, yes.
Put this up front so people can see.
It's possible. Well, who knows? Movie, who knows?
Well, if it's about your life story, I'm pretty sure there's more to write because this is talking about you from your childhood to where you are now.
Right.
So I'm sure you got more to tell.
Absolutely. I couldn't,
you're just getting started.
Everything's not in there. That would be like a series, like a 7 series.
7 series. Okay. Yeah, I got you. Well, this is good. And I mean, I'm happy for you. That's an accomplishment to sit down and actually go back and recapture all the events that happened, which I'm pretty sure some of them could have been quite painful.
Absolutely.
To go back and relive some of those memories coming from some of your background and, humble beginnings, from your background down south in Virginia and childhood and then growing up, Talk to us about some of the most significant events that stuck out to you while you were writing this book.
Actually, one of the first things that hit me, I had to stop writing for a couple of minutes because I got emotional.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, one of the main things is the fact that how strong and how hard my grandmother worked. Because, of course, from the fields, from living in Virginia as a little boy, moving here to New Jersey at 10 years old. But living in Virginia back then, my grandmother's one of her means of income was working in potato fields, picking potatoes, tomatoes, and all those other vegetables. Wow. It wasn't a hobby. That was employment.
That was employment.
That was employment.
Yeah.
So during the summertime, when kids now go to summer camp,
sure,
being out in the fields with her, helping her, was our summer camp.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I got emotional even thinking about that because how, the way she worked hard then, even her moving up here to New Jersey eventually, and from a woman who used to work in the fields who ended up owning 3 properties.
Wow. Okay.
You know,
That's great.
yeah,
That's an amazing story to know that she advanced herself. That she didn't come up, making excuses. I'm pretty sure she found a way to maximize the hard work ethic that she had when she was down south and
Right.
use that up here to advance herself.
right.
That's quite an accomplishment. Now, when you moved up here at 10, did you get right into the school system in Trenton area?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we moved to East Trenton. Of course, we went to a Columbus school.
Right.
And from there, the junior one high school. So went right
Good.
into it. But still, it was still a it took a lot of adjustment because one of the things that down in Virginia, in our area, we didn't have any traffic lights.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Dirt roads.
No, we had paved.
Okay, I was saying, you no traffic light. We going to the country or
we
what?
had paved roads.
Lived in
But
the
we didn't-
sticks.
We didn't have any traffic lights. So, even coming up here and, jaywalking, I remember us getting chased from school one day because we jaywalked. We didn't know anything about jaywalking.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Me, my brother, and my sister.
Man, that's
so,
something.
getting adjusted to that,
Okay.
Being made fun of a few times because of our southern accent. Every now and then, if you hear me,
I was
listen to
saying, I
me
don't
talk-
hear much of a southern accent. You've
Every
been
now and then-
Trentonized.
Yeah, no, it's there.
Okay,
It's
all
there.
right, all
It's
right.
there. It's still there.
Okay.
Somewhere
Just a
deep
couple
down,
words
yeah.
deep down. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably when you get around family and the family reunion and you got some of those old dishes from Virginia, the reach back southern comes
Yeah,
out.
It's still there because the average person that really that knows me, actually a gentleman that has been doing fashion shows with me for a few years, just realized a couple of years ago that I wasn't. He was like, I have always thought that you were born and grew up in Trenton. No, so a lot
Wow.
of people. So officially now, I am not original Trentonian. I'm originally from Cape Charles, Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're calling you a sellout right now, man. No, I'm kidding. No, it's funny because, if anybody that's from here, like I was born and raised in Trenton, New Jersey, and anybody that's from here knows that Trenton has its own culture. And anybody that's been up here for a long period of time, if they came from somewhere else, you immediately kind of get Trentonized. So,
Trentonized.
yeah. So, if you didn't tell me you were from Virginia, I wouldn't have been able to tell, but, you got to begin somewhere.
Right.
So, coming up here, 10 years old with the grandmother, I'm pretty sure it's a big difference from South life in the South and up here in the city of Trenton. Now, when I know in your book you talk about your music background, when did you pick up an instrument early? When you were like teenager or later on?
I actually picked up a first instrument when I was probably, I think it was like 12, 13 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was that?
What was it? It was the
First
actually the lead guitar.
Lead guitar.
Yeah.
Okay, you started on lead
So
guitar.
lead guitar, but
Okay.
no, it was two of us. One of the gentlemen, he already knew how to play lead guitar. I have that in the book. He already knew how to play lead. Come from a musical family,
Right.
The Flowers family,
Okay.
and so we had a lead guitarist and a drummer, and no bass player. So
Okay. So you had to switch off.
I was the bass player.
Okay.
So
All right.
that's how my bass playing career started.
Okay.
Actually, from a lead guitar, drilling holes in it and making it a bass.
Making
turning
bass
into a
play. Okay.
guitar, yeah.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
like an old movie. So.
Right. All right. Well, what I should have had to do is bring the bass up here.
Ooh,
You
no.
could have been playing, playing some of them songs. So now with your music, did you go? Did you play in the school bands?
I played in the Trenton Central High School band. I played, of course, in Junior 3 high school.
Mr. Grice.
Mr. Grice taught
Mr.
me.
Grice.
Yes,
I remember
Mr.
Mr. Grice.
Pastorello,
Yeah.
all those teachers. Even at Junior 3 was Mr. Moore.
Mm-hmm.
He taught me. Actually, there's an album that we did at Junior 3
Wow.
years ago. Actually, I still have it, the album.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's right home up under my desk.
Okay.
The Junior 3 Orchestra, we did that. Remember the old movie, the old TV show SWAT?
Yeah. Yeah.
The actual theme from that.
Okay.
That was one of the theme songs on there. Yeah.
Okay,
We
wow.
Duplicated that. Yeah.
Wow, that's something. So, that's the one thing about schools. They kept the arts going back then, and now it's sad because A lot of the educational systems have dropped the music programs, have dropped the art programs, and a lot of those programs is what kept kids out of trouble.
Yeah, kept them focused.
Kept them focused. It was an activity, and it also created more neural pathways in the brain because you had something that was opening up your creative side. And a lot of that's lost now because the schools don't offer it, and on top of that, they don't have the funding to get the materials like instruments and art supplies, things like that, to have that, especially in inner city schools, and that's pretty sad. But thankfully, you had something that kept you active during that time, and I'm sure coming up from the South and adjusting to a different city, you needed some type of activity to, sort of keep you active and, maybe keep you out of trouble, maybe keep you from fighting off bullies and stuff.
Being chased off.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that helped in some ways.
Wow. Yeah, we even before even moving up here, I mentioned in the book, actually, my focus when I was, of course, living in Virginia was dancing. Yeah.
Okay.
I used to dance a lot.
Okay.
And I talk about it in the book.
What style of dance? Tap dancing?
No, just dancing, just down south. You've seen the movies. You've seen The Color Purple.
Oh, you wasn't even born in Color Purple times, man.
You've seen those.
Those are juke joints.
Okay. The minute you mentioned the juke joint.
Okay.
There's a place right up the road from our house. It was called the Hall.
Okay.
It wasn't as old as that place that in the Color Purple.
Right.
But it was considered a modern day juke joint.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
There was no electric stove, and there was a big black potbelly stove.
Potbelly stove.
Yeah, but they had
Wow.
to put the wood and the coal in it. And
okay.
in the winter
And that
time,
was the heat.
Yeah, it was the heat.
Wow.
Yeah, in the wintertime, in the summertime, the air conditioning was the fan in the window with all the windows
blowing hot air.
So that's where I really started, that's where I really got that idea of that thought of being, as far as being art, as far as doing the art, as far as dancing.
Okay.
But at times they did have a couple of little bands that played there. And they weren't really full big bands. They were just, guitar playing, the drummer.
Got it.
If you want to call that a band, that was a band.
Okay.
But my main focus was dancing. And,
okay.
I did a little, it was called Young Dirty Dancing.
Young Dirty, okay,
So
wow. Young Dirty Dancing.
We're being Freedom to Truth Radio, right?
Hey, listen, go for it, man.
So-
Freedom Truth Radio, bring it all out.
Yeah, I was a young dirty dancer.
Okay, all right. So you were doing Patrick Swayze. Okay, Young Dirty Dance. I got you.
So because I'm really saying it because I have to be transparent, because once you read the book, you be like, he didn't say that on the radio.
Oh,
so,
see,
so once you read
yeah.
the book, you're gonna see it anyway.
Right,
So
I got you.
might as well put it out.
Hey,
now.
that's cool. I mean, we want people to go buy the book because it's available on skipbailey.com. It's available on Amazon.
also,
Okay,
yes.
so get your copy. Check it out. I'm sure it's a very interesting read. I did not get a chance to get the copy prior to the broadcast, but having met Skip a few times before and having him on the show before, I'm sure his book is well worth him being on the show. So I wanted to give him the platform and the opportunity to talk about his book and the inspiration behind it. Not so much just because he wrote the book, but because anybody that writes a book about their life story, I feel deserves a platform to pretty much go in and talk about the details and pretty much inspire someone, because I'm sure there's a lot of things that he came through in this book, in his story that he has to tell, that will inspire somebody. Because going into that point, what would you say is one of the most inspiring moments in this book that you wrote about?
The spiritual and mindset shift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I talk about my past drug addiction in the book.
Okay.
And my being away and clean from cocaine for all these years, close to 30 years. It was more of a spiritual and a mindset shift.
Okay.
And that led me to pretty much, that was the beginning of my journey to show interest in becoming a life coach and a mindset coach.
Okay.
And that's what I do today at this moment as my mindset coach and personal development
Great.
coach. Yeah.
That's great. So this actually is like a living testimony.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So the struggle that you had with drugs, was that attributed from the music industry?
No.
Okay.
And I make that clear even when people ask me after they've read the book. And I think I did put that in the book that music had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
One of the things is when I first moved here to Jersey, to Trenton, and I was amazed and started hanging with the older boys, who was drinking the wine.
Right.
And this was when, of course, when I got in junior high school.
Okay.
Not in elementary school.
Right. No, well,
So people think, well, he moved from Trenton to 10 years old and started drinking wine.
no, it's
So
okay.
in junior high school, and even getting to high school, mainly junior high school, hanging with the older boys that were in high school that were drinking
Right.
the wine and smoking the marijuana.
Of course.
And I started at a young age, and I did, and one thing led to another, and especially in high school, doing different things and being introduced to cocaine and other drugs, and that's where it started from.
Okay.
I go really deep into the book about some of the main causes of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, let me ask you this: when you were wrapped up into that, did your grandmother? Did she try to pull you out? Was she still around at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, so when we moved up here, we moved with my mother and father because they were already up here.
Okay.
So yeah, during that time, I took my mother through a lot of stuff. Wondering why I was doing these things and such and so on. Of course, I didn't know. So there's no way she could know why I was doing those things. But yeah, I took them through a lot of heartache, a lot of pain, heartache that I went the issues that I went through. I went to Carrier Clinic up in Princeton, New Jersey,
Right.
to supposedly go there to get clean.
Right.
Didn't go there for that reason.
Okay.
I'm being honest. I went there to save my job because they paid for it.
Well,
Just being honest.
I hear
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Yeah. But but people do things and cause hurt and pain on family members, loved
Yes.
ones, spouses,
Right.
even their children.
Yeah.
But then again, you have to understand, you don't have to understand, but you should understand that the person who's causing this pain or whatever, for the most part, they don't even know why they're doing it. They don't even know why they're taking
Well,
that pain.
they're deeply in pain themselves. They just don't know it.
Exactly.
And this is probably something that
Absolutely.
they're doing that they think is an antidote to that pain,
Absolutely.
and they're trying to mask it. But it's painful to the people that surround them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I can't, from me being a person who's projecting pain on someone right now, if I was
Right.
going through it, I can't say, if I don't understand it, I can't sit down and explain with the whole family, why I'm putting you through this stuff because my past was a little boy, I got beat up or whatever.
Right.
And now life went on or whatever, and I'm still feeling that hurt and pain. I don't know how, even though deep down in my mind, I know the reason.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to, right now, I don't know how to express it to them
Okay.
because I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Sure.
To that healing point yet.
Right.
And that's where I had to associate and go out and seek coaches and personal development specialists and mindset coaches to help me to understand what I was going through.
Right.
After I had, made the decision I didn't want to be involved in that lifestyle anymore.
Okay.
But after I had gotten clean, I was still had to search, what was the reason?
Mm-hmm.
And so though the people that I surround myself with after that, the coaches, the specialists, they helped me to understand that.
Okay. Now, when you were in your addiction, what was the one thing that made you say, "This is it. I can't do this anymore"? Like the straw that broke the camel's back. Because a lot of people, they get a moment like that, and then they end up relapsing. And they get a moment because of some guilty circumstance or something that makes them feel bad, and they say, I don't want to do it no more, And they may say a prayer and say, God, if you help me get out of this, I'll never go back. but then that's only at the time they're feeling that moment of conviction, and then something happens and they go right back to it. What was the last moment for you that said, "This is it, I'm done completely"?
Well, actually, I was for maybe a period of maybe 10 years with the cocaine, snorting it, smoking it, even the other drugs. I've the marijuana, every now and then. I forgot what else I've taken, the other drugs. But all along, especially with the cocaine and smoking it, even during those last couple of years, I knew that I shouldn't have been doing it. I knew all along.
You knew.
I shouldn't be doing this.
Well, most people do.
Yeah, I shouldn't be doing it. But I was conscious of knowing that I shouldn't be doing it.
Okay.
But still, no matter what, I was still going out to get that Band-Aid to cover up that hurt.
Okay.
That's what I was doing. So I knew I was using the cocaine as a
Right.
Band-Aid. I knew it. But during that last time, as a matter of fact, the band that I was playing with at the time, it was a band called Cheers. We were doing a lot of jobs in the Princeton area. We were pretty much a wedding and a corporate band.
Okay.
And one night, I was in the Dolly Homes. For the Trentonians know where the Dolly Homes is. I was over in the Dolly Homes getting high one night with a tuxedo on because the band was in Princeton at a gig waiting on me. A gig is what we call, as musicians call, a job.
Yeah.
At a gig waiting on me. And I was in Dolly Homes in my tuxedo because that's what we performed in tuxedos, getting high. And that last night, sitting on that floor in a nice trench coat, tuxedo, and everything, and I knew that was it. I'm saying to myself, after this, I'm done.
This is it.
I'm done.
No more.
No more. And after that night, let me see, my youngest son is 26. Over 28 years ago, that night, when I left there, I went to my mother's house, went up on the third floor. Took my shoes off and laid on the bed and said, God, I'm done.
Wow.
Went to sleep in my tuxedo, woke up the next morning, never touched it since.
Really?
Just like that.
No more.
I knew I was ready. I was ready.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
told you mine was a spiritual.
it had to be because
Spiritual change,
it wasn't no like hallelujah moment. No,
no.
you didn't go to church.
Yeah.
And, get the devil cast out of you.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
No,
And
I just knew.
You just made a decision.
That's a good word. That's one of the key words. I made a decision.
You made a decision.
This is it. And I explained to people that, okay, well, so if a person would say, well, if he just quit just that quick, he wasn't really addicted. Well, yes, I was. Read the book. I've sold a couple of my bass guitars for cocaine.
You was addicted because
No.
musicians don't just easily sell equipment.
One night, I gave up my whole income tax check one night.
Oh, you definitely
Over $600.
Yeah.
My whole entire income tax check.
Yeah.
Did not cash it. Signed it over to the person.
Wow.
So So I've done a lot of stuff. It was a long period of time. But that one night, this is it. I'm not doing this no more.
Wow. Now, okay. So, and I'm only asking these questions because I'm sure there's other people who have dealt with this circumstance in their own lives, whether it be them personally or somebody close to them.
Right. Exactly.
When you were in this, what is one person, or who was one person that you think felt this the most? Whether it was your mother, I don't know how many siblings you have or whatever, somebody that was extremely close to you that had to go through the pain of watching you deal with this. Who's the one person that you wish you could really reconcile things with that felt this pain watching you deal with this?
Okay, other than my mother,
Mm-hmm.
My youngest sons, their mother.
Okay.
We were together then.
Okay.
Because there were a couple of nights when she would come out in the rain looking for me.
Wow.
With my son on her shoulder, covered with.
So they were babies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's something.
Yeah. And I have since then, apologized and sincerely apologized for taking through the things and explain my reason, not for doing it, but explain my pain.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain my pain.
Well, that I'm pretty sure that's that had to be very hard to explain,
Oh, yeah.
you know, to somebody else that's on the outside, because you know what you're feeling, and I'm pretty sure that's something they probably can't get to understand, because I'm like, well, why would you continue doing that, knowing if you were hurting, you know, instead of seeking help? But a lot of people don't know it's not that easy. 'Cause I've had family members and dealt with, you know, watching them continue to throw themselves away into that, and it's like, why you keep doing this to yourself? But they don't know that the addiction is what's calling them.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a tough battle. It's a tough battle.
And like I said, I believe with me, it was more of the Band-Aid instead of the addiction.
Okay.
I believe because, you know, being hurt or whatever, I always going to find something to help relieve that pain.
Okay.
Whether it's going in the medicine cabinet to get a Advil or whatever to cover that pain that you're going through, whatever,
Right.
headache, toothache, whatever it may be, the pain.
Right.
But even though one of the moments that really caused, if you want to use the word, caused to me to really dive really deeper into the drugs, looking at the pain, is the lady. I used to play bass guitar for Millie Jackson years ago.
Okay.
And during the time, I was working full time at a job, at a good paying job. I'm doing the quote, good paying job.
Good paying job. Okay.
And just got married.
Right.
Just had my son. I think Skip was maybe 6 months old, maybe a year old. And during that time with Millie Jackson, she would fly me out to different cities, other different states over the weekend, and fly me right back so I can be back to work on Monday morning. Even though I was doing cocaine then, we were doing cocaine then, but it wasn't extreme.
Got it.
And people would say, "Well,
What's extreme?"
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, okay. So for a person who's addicted, they would know extreme. Okay, but there came a point where she gave me a call one night, and we were get ready to go to England.
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 Okay.
Thank you. We were ready to go to England, and she gave me a call. She said, "Skip," and and when she called me, because normally when I get a phone call, it would be from my friend Chuck. He was a guitar player. He's the one who got me in the band.
Got it.
Normally when they would give me, I need some songs to learn, it would be Chuck calling me, "Skip, I'm gonna sing some songs, blah 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 blah." That night, I got the call from Millie, and I'd never gotten a call from her, other than the very first time I started playing with her. When I
Okay.
got that call that Sunday evening, I knew something was up. So when she called me, she said, "Skip, we have to go to England in a couple of weeks, and I need you to make a decision. You have to make a decision. We're gonna be out on the road for about 3 months, 3 to 4 months." And she said, "Of course, I know you're working full time, so you have to either." It was choice time.
Yeah. Either you're going to take the
point
job,
blank,
take
it
the
was choice
gig,
time.
or not.
Yeah, come
Yeah.
with us. You have to come with us. You know, she didn't say that. Didn't put it bluntly like that, but so many words. Yeah. So obviously, good paying job. Just got married, son. Blah blah blah.
Wow.
I chose not to go.
Good choice.
I chose not to go.
Okay.
Yeah, looking back on it now, it was a good choice.
It's a good choice.
At that moment,
Yeah.
that next week afterwards, I didn't think it was a good choice.
Okay.
Because that's when I really started using. I dove into the cocaine to really heal that hurt that I was.
Okay.
Because I'm saying, because then she was popular, her songs were being played on the radio.
So you felt
on
like you
Soul
missed an
Train.
opportunity.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
at work.
So you beating yourself
Yeah, I
up.
was beating myself up. I
Got
remember
it.
one night being in the bar, Blackjacks one night, and one of her records came on, and I had to get up and leave. I couldn't
You
sit there and
lost
listen
it.
to it.
Yeah.
I had to go.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Well, you know what? That was a hard decision. Very hard decision, because here you are, newly married, 2 new babies, and you know, any man that knows anything about having to, raise and provide for a family knows that at this point in time, you don't really take a gamble on something like that, because who's to say, and not trying to speak negatively, but what if you would have got on tour and just never came back home? Then, your boys would have been left without a father, whatever. So I think you made a very good decision, but you just dealt with it the wrong way. You dealt with the pain of and the regret of you not taking the opportunity to use your gift as a musician to and that's rough. And anybody that is a musician, I am myself. I kind of feel where you're going with that. What your pain was with, because I'm married myself, and there's times where I had to say no to musical opportunities. And you have a family, that's just, and it's the way my father taught me was that, certain things that a man just does. You just don't take chances like that when you got a family at stake. You have to provide for them, because that's your first responsibility. So I commend you on saying no to that gig, which was very hard. At the same time, it cost you a lot with the choices you made afterwards, because you were dealing with the pain. And your thing is, you probably didn't have anybody to talk to help you deal with that pain.
Didn't understand, yeah.
That would have understood, right.
Understand, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because of course, in reference to family members, friends, or whomever, not, taking anything away from them, but if you're not a person that's in any type of art or
you're not going to get it.
Whatever, you don't understand.
You don't understand.
Or even if it doesn't have to be art, even if a person who's trying to start their own business,
right,
or going after their dreams and goals, if you're not a person who's really pursuing your own dreams and goals, you don't understand.
You don't understand, and that's a fact. Yeah. So, with all this that you went through, and finally getting to the point where you said, I can't do this anymore, I'm done. What got you to the point of saying, I got to give back? I'm going to turn my life around and work on my own personal development, and then tell somebody else my story so that I can help them not go down the same road?
Because it bothered me to hear other people speak of other people in reference to a person who may be addicted to alcohol, drugs, or whatever it may be. That's all that person thinks of is getting high. That's all he do is get high. I'm just like, and I think that person is hurting and you don't even understand why, what the person is going through.
Yeah.
This person did not go through elementary school, junior high school, thinking when I get older, I want to be a drug addict or I want to be an alcoholic or whatever.
Of course.
This person is hurting. And so the fact that it bothered me to hear people make those comments about other people, I said to myself, I need to help people begin to understand some of the things and why they are going through these things. Help them do, even if we have to go all the way back to childhood, the way I had to go back to childhood, start from the very beginning to where you're at right now. Something led to that. Something caused that.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
There's always a seed.
Yeah. Just like even with the car accident, what's that movie? Oh God, I can't think of it. It came out years ago when it's an accident, and they always go all the way back to the very, very, very beginning. What caused it? The person left home at a certain point.
Changing lanes,
something like that.
Yeah,
and then
I remember that movie.
Look down the purse real quick or whatever, and get something out of that purse and look left. If they hadn't looked left, the accident would
never happen.
So we go all the way back to the beginning.
Yes,
and that's one of the things in reference to what I do with the mindset coaching and personal development coaching is to help people. We have to go all the way back
to the origin.
I say this now, and it may sound simple just by me even saying it, but it's a lot of work.
Okay.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of personal work because we don't even, for the most part, we don't even look at ourselves internally.
Okay.
For the most part, we look at the external.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. I'm glad you brought that up because, how do you deal with somebody that, okay, you're a life coach. Say if you're a life coach to me, I'm a new prospect to you, and I'm coming to you because I want to be successful. That's all I'm thinking about. I just want to be successful. And you talk about going back to the origin of whatever problems I need to deal with and trying to get to the root of substance. How do you dig in to a person that's got a wall up and they think there's nothing wrong with them, and to the point where they're just like, they can't admit or take ownership of any of their shortcomings, so to speak. How do you dig into somebody like that? It's just like, you ask me a few probing questions to say, what about this? And, what happened in your past? Can you tell me a little bit about, and they just have this defense mechanism up, say, oh, ain't nothing wrong with me. It's everybody else. How do you dig into somebody like that?
Well, first of all, the main question, the big question, even though there's a series of questions that we go through with our clients, the main question is why? Why do you want to do it?
Okay.
Because a person is going to say, I just want to do this. Okay, why?
I want a lot of money.
So, why?
I want to be rich.
Why?
Because I want to be able to buy stuff. I want to buy 100 pairs of sneakers.
Okay, so now when we do that, there's a reason. So you notice when you go, because I'm not getting away from the question.
Okay.
But what I'm doing is to really answer that question, because I am a paid. You see what I'm getting? So when you go buy that car,
right?
You don't buy the car. First thing when you walk in that parking, walk in the car lot, and you go in there, especially the showroom, that nice Benz or whatever, or nice Ford, whatever it may be, you don't buy it because the salesperson told you that instead of today, that car, instead of being $25,000 today, we're going to give you that car for $22,000. You don't buy it for that reason.
No, you don't buy it.
There's another reason you buying that car.
Right.
So that's what I'm getting at. We got to go all the way back to the very beginning.
The root.
How is it going to make you feel? Is it gonna now you have a full family?
Yeah.
Instead of before it was just you, your wife, and your one son. Now you got 2 more kids.
Right.
Now that SUV is going to help you transport your kids, all the kids.
Right.
So there's a series of whys.
Of course. It's always a why.
So it's always the process is constantly digging, constantly digging. And one of the things so now I'm gonna get back to what you said, that person that thinks that there's nothing, they got that wall up.
Yeah.
So now you got to help that person to constantly dig.
Okay.
Dig where they don't see the wall.
Okay.
So they've conditioned their mind so much to believe what they think is true, which is not true. See, I'm going a little deeper in there.
No, because I'm about to take you somewhere.
Yeah.
Because you're a life coach. I want you to give me a practice session. Cause I'm gonna be that real hard person that you got to deal with. I'm gonna be a tough cookie right now. So ask me a series
but in
of
that
questions.
case, also, we are trained, and with our schooling, if we failed.
Okay.
If we feel
impossible,
if we feel that maybe I'm not the right coach for you, I know who is.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah.
So if you can't crack the nut, then you know somebody who else can.
I know somebody who can.
Okay.
So I'm still going to lead you in the right direction.
Okay. I like that. I'm going
to lead you to my cousin Marquise, who's a coach, but he's a little on the edge coach.
Okay. All right. So you got somebody even tougher. All right.
Yeah, but for the most part, even with anyone, no matter what, is just like peeling the onion, peeling constantly.
One layer
back.
at a time.
There's always something down to the core.
Always.
To help them get to that true answer.
Yeah, and I agree. And that's, it's practically the answer to just about anything. Now, if where you are now, you're a life coach, you're a mindset coach, you've come through, addiction, and 30 years clean. You being a mindset coach, what would you tell your 22-year-old self?
To seek someone who may have the answers that you're looking for, if you know that you don't know the answers. And I'm pretty sure back then, I didn't know the answers, but I was during that time. So you have to understand. So you may not understand, and the people that are listening and that are watching understand. When I was 22 years old, that 22-year-old Skip had a head this big.
I was gonna say you wouldn't listen to that nice advice you just giving yourself.
I was ego. I was conceited.
Okay.
I was all the above. You want to miss?
Okay.
I was that list of
You was
arrogance.
narcissistic.
I was that person.
Okay.
seriously.
All right.
And also being the musician.
Oh, stage.
I was gone.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell me anything. Seriously.
Yeah. Just call your name.
Yeah. So
Uh-huh.
if I was conscious of if I really needed answers, I would tell that 22-year-old Skip right now to go seek some life coaching. Seriously, go seek a mindset coach. Back then, the word coaching wasn't popular. The only thing coach was a football coach, baseball
Right.
coach,
Of
whatever.
course.
Back then was a therapist or a psychiatrist.
That's it.
So, you know, no matter of fact, you don't even. It's rare that you hear the word psychiatrist to the day.
You don't hear it now.
You don't hear that word.
You really
at all.
don't.
Because really, we really did not never need a psychiatrist anyway.
Okay.
So, but now the word coaches. So there's all types of coaches, health coaches.
Yeah. It's wellness
sexual
coach. Yeah. All
wellness coach, all
yeah.
sorts of coaches.
That's true.
So I would tell the young Skip, if there were coaches back then, go seek you a coach, a life coach, personal development coach.
Yeah.
Those main two right there. The mindset coach, when it gets a little deeper, because it helped you to shift that mindset. Because it takes just that instant, but I make it sound simple,
Okay.
but it takes practice. Just like with me playing my bass guitar.
Sure.
I may say, okay, I'm going to play this song, blah, 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 bang, 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 bang. I may make it look simple, but I've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
I do it. It's not being conscious of what I'm doing because I do it so much. It's like tying
Unconscious
your
competence.
Shoe. Like you rushing out the door,
Yes.
tie your shoe. How did you just tie your shoe? You really don't know. You just
Been
bam,
doing
bam,
it since
it's done.
you was since
Right.
you were a toddler. So
Exactly. So that's just like with me. I'm able to. I've gotten to the point now where I can shift my mindset,
Okay.
and that's what I want to teach people how to do. Because one of the things that I did, I told Mike, I have a coach myself.
Okay.
She lives in Lambertville, PA.
Okay.
Lambertville is still Jersey, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
She lives over in Lambertville. And she's a British lady.
Okay.
So I told her that I was having a few challenges early back in the summer. This is before I met her. I've only met her like 2 months ago, and I
Okay.
hired her as a coach, as a client attraction coach. That's what she is.
Okay.
But I told her one of the things that I found that now I can really go out and really help people to how to shift their mindset because I had an issue that was going on with me back in the summer, and it was actually happened on a Saturday night, Saturday evening, and then the next morning was I'm going to church and play music in church. I'm saying, first of all, now I'm taking this issue to sleep with me. Now I'm getting up and taking this to church. I said, even when I went to church, I was like, man, this thing is still on me. You know, whatever it was bothering me. And I said, no, I got to shift my mindset. I got to do whatever I have to do to shift my mindset. And what I'm about to say, a person may go out and try it tomorrow and it may not work for you because there's a process.
Okay.
So I said, I left church. I said, I have to shift my mindset. I have to do whatever I have to do. I said, I went to McDonald's, got me an ice cream cone. You laughing?
That was a good
Sat in the
mindset
parking
shift.
lot and ate an ice cream cone.
Okay.
How many people have you ever seen mad and upset licking an ice cream cone?
Not too many people.
It's pretty much unheard of.
Okay.
Pretty much can't be
All right.
done.
I think I get what you're saying. So the purpose is
so I had to do
to
something. Yeah,
change your frame of mind,
Yeah,
change
yeah.
your feelings. Okay.
but it worked though.
Hey, ice cream, McDonald's. All right. Well, hey.
We're not promoting it now, but that do whatever you have to do.
All right.
But it takes someone who's experienced and a coach or whomever to know how to guide you through those things. That's just
Okay.
fact.
All right. Well, that's quite a simple turnaround, and like you said, that may not work for some, but some people it may work for.
Yeah.
But that's what worked for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you
It
know
worked
what?
for me.
Somebody else would need to find that had happy place, so to speak. Yours was in McDonald's drive-through. So, somebody else, for me, it would probably be cooking something or playing drums.
Right.
And that would immediately, change my feelings around. So I get the concept of what you're saying. To change how you're thinking is change the feeling that you're whatever it is you're vibrating from the inside, and then that will shift the consciousness of what you're attracting at that point in time.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So now, was that advice that you got from your coach, or is that something you?
No,
just,
that's something that
you
I
came
came
up
up
with?
with. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. That's
But you know
good.
what? That's from listening to lots of life coaches.
Okay.
Les Brown,
So you develop techniques of your own
my
that you've
technique,
made.
yeah.
Okay.
From Ayanna Von Zant, Les Brown,
Yeah.
all your big
All good
speakers,
ones, yeah.
all the big ones.
Yeah.
And so the things that they've talked about,
Of course.
and so they helped me to come up with, just like with you with your drum playing,
Mm-hmm.
you listen to all the top drummers in the world, so you listen to them and come up with your own style.
Got
but
it.
You still listen to everyone else.
Yes.
Same thing.
Yes. That's good. That's
thing.
good. Life coaching. That's you know what? No, but it's. I think personal development is very much needed because a lot of people they don't do anything to help develop their person or do anything for self-improvement. And we all need some of that at some point in time because it's going to help you be more accountable. It's going to help you be more honest because you have to look at things from the inside and say, okay, this I need to change. I need to deal with this. If you don't have anybody to challenge you or hold you accountable to something, then you'll never change. And that's true for all of us. We all need that. So, you've made some great strides from the field to the stage. This is what your book is called. Coming here all the way from Virginia, and going through your teenage years, being a musician, struggling with addiction, and getting through that, and all of a sudden now you are a successful mindset / life coach. This is quite a journey.
Yes.
Very much so.
Yes.
And so what is your advice? What can you tell someone that may be either struggling or maybe have some dreams that they don't believe will come to fruition, and they just, it's kind of sitting on the fence. They're discouraged. Just give a nugget, something that you would tell somebody that, based on the things that you've been through, that there is hope.
And so with that question, and I'm not really, I said the word really, promoting myself, but go out and seek professional coaching. And there's a difference, okay? There's a difference. And there are people that have watered down the word life coach. Everybody says they're a life coach, and everybody is
Lord.
not a life coach, okay?
You got a lot of self-proclaimed people.
There's a few of us that are certified life coaches who've been through the training, constantly going through the trainings, have gone to different
check
states.
license, folk.
Yeah, license
Check
and
license.
registered.
People are always saying that I'm a life coach.
Yeah,
You have
registered.
no kind of certification.
Registered
Can't
coaches.
life coach a mouse out of a rat wheel. It's crazy. It's the truth.
So
know?
you non-legitimate life coaches.
Yeah,
Vince is
yeah,
over here.
yeah.
He's
I'm tired of y'all. Y'all stop that
he's gonna
perpetrating.
pull you all over
I am
and give you a ticket.
fake life coaches.
So seriously, but seek coaching. So instead of, if you wanted to be an architect, okay. So we break this down, and even when we talk to each other, even as coaches, I formed a coaches mastermind group.
Okay.
Myself, I have a couple of people that are wellness coaches. One young lady, she's a pet owner coach. So there's all types of coaches: pet owner coach, wellness. So what we do is when we help each other, we sit and brainstorm. We tell each other reference to break it down in 3 or 4 year old style, mindset.
Can understand. Okay.
Break it down so a 3-year-old can understand it, a 4-year-old
Understand.
can understand it.
Good.
So what I'm saying is, if you want to be an architect, and you know that you have to take some classes, you have to do this, or certain things or whatever, go and search the resources and take those classes, okay? Whatever you have to do. Even take practice tests. Stop, and this is big right here. You and I talked about this a while. So people, stop taking advice from people who are not in the same field or going in the same direction that you're looking to go in.
Facts.
That's major.
Definitely
and
facts.
this is, I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. So if you, once again, reading the book, I'm transparent in the book, so I am totally transparent. Stop, whether it's your mother, your brother, your sister, your spouse, whomever it is, if they're not, have no experience in doing what your goals and dreams are, do not take their 100% soul advice. Don't, seriously, because you're gonna be disappointed.
Right.
You're really going to be disappointed. So once again, like one of my sons is a football coach, and one of them is a physical fitness coach.
Okay.
So if I wanted to learn how, say if I was in high school, but they're my son, so high school. So if your son or your nephew wanted to learn how to be a quarterback or offensive lineman, that's what my son's an offensive lineman coach, and my other son a physical fitness coach. So if your nephew wanted to be totally fit or whatever, I'm not going to sit here and tell him everything. You should do this. You should do that.
Right.
Because I know who can tell him.
Get him somebody
who's the
that's qualified.
experts,
Right.
Who the qualifies? My sons and my 2 sons. So and even if you want to be an electrician, I don't know how. I know how to tell you how to turn the light switch on. That's about it.
Right.
So I'm still keeping it 4-year-old
Understand.
mindset.
No, that's
I can tell
good.
you how to switch the light switch, but to be a trained, licensed electrician.
Right. You don't have
I
qualifications
know
for that.
what school you can get into.
Right.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
but we had mentioned also, you're not talking about in reference to, we a lot of times get in our own way.
Very true.
Stop getting in your
Yes.
own way and go and seek help. That's all there's to it.
Yeah.
That's one of the main keys. There's nothing wrong with asking questions.
No, it's not. And every person that's going to be successful, you need a mentor of some type. Whether it's somebody in your same field or somebody that's going to help you with personal development, you definitely need a mentor. It will help you. Like I said before, it'll help you hold yourself accountable at a greater degree. And you just won't be all over the place.
Yeah.
And those are all good points.
Yeah. And even doing, once you really get to understand what it takes to do certain things, the processes that it takes to do certain things, you start looking at things totally different. So I don't watch a lot of TV at all.
No, I don't either.
I rarely watch TV. When I do, when me and my fiance sit and watch TV, we're looking at the same TV tube, but we're watching something totally different.
Totally different, right? Yeah.
Meaning, actually, last night we were watching my grandson. He spent a night with us, so he wanted to watch Toy Story 4.
Okay.
So it was entertaining. But I was watching how, I was amazed how the artist, the cartoonist, did that.
So you're looking at the detail.
The detail.
Yeah.
I was looking in detail.
Right.
And of course, it was interesting how they did it, but still,
Of course.
I look at things totally different now.
I understand. And for somebody that's been through something like that, I'm sure you see the world through a different lens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Well, you know what? Go get the book, y'all. SkipBailey.com, Amazon.com. Skip Bailey, From the Fields to the Stage. And I'm going to take a read at this myself and probably have him back on the show so we can dig some more into these little secrets in this red book. I'm pretty sure he goes deep, and he's got
deep.
some really good stories in there about his life. And because he talks about how transparent he's been in this book. So if he's telling his life story, there's some detail in there that's probably worthy of it becoming a movie of some type. Never know. Lifetime might pick you up, man.
Well, I have a young lady who's asked me. She's out in Arizona. She asked me, said, "Skip, you ever thought about turn this into a small movie? Not little, like the word little, a movie." She says, "Let's talk."
Hey, go for it, man.
Yeah.
Go for it. Who gonna play you?
I don't know. That's a good question. he has to be multi-talented.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. All right. Well, that is it for tonight's show. Thank you for joining us on the Freedom Truth Radio Show. So happy to have my guest, Skip Bailey, on the show, talking about his new book, From the Field to the Stage. Go out there and purchase a copy. Amazon.com, skipbailey.com. And this book, you can get, how much is the book?
$20.
$20.
Investment. It's an investment in yourself.
It's investment in yourself. And also, if somebody's looking for life coaching or mindset coaching, they can get that on.
They can go on my social media pages, my Facebook page. Also, email me, which is simple, oneskipbailey@skipbailey.com.
Okay.
oneskipbailey@skipbailey.com. Or you can go on my website, skipbailey.com, and leave your email address information right there.
Great.
So, and real quick, this book is just not my autobiography. In the back also, I have from my audio CD, the 25 success principles in reference to personal success.
Great.
That's in it. So it's not just
So it's a
like
bonus.
It's a bonus in there, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's really good. 25 success principles he's added into the back of the book. That it's on CD, so you can play it in your car. That's good. Something to reference to your own personal development.
Right.
So definitely go purchase, go support. And for those of you from the Trenton area, you know Skip very well. He's done fashion shows. He's done concerts, Mr. Skip Productions. So he's well known in the city. Go support him. Check it out on his website. All right. So until next time, this is the Freedom Truth Radio Show, where the truth will make you mad first, then make you free. Peace out.
Good night.